We're out here at the Tipton Research Center with our Extension Cotton Specialist, Seth Byrd. And Seth, we got kind of a early season frost in the first part of October. How did that impact the cotton crop?
Yeah, so a lot of the cotton that was most impacted by that crop was some of the stuff that was a little behind. We've talked all year about how that early rain we had in the spring, kind of delayed planting, has put us behind all year. So for the better part of our crop, it probably wasn't as impactful. A lot of that had already seen a harvest date application, but for some of the crop that we were hoping to get to that point where the earlier planting crop was, that really better yield potential, it kind of cut that season short. So it certainly made harvest date decisions from that point moving forward a challenge. Like I said, the crop that saw applications before the freeze looks great. Since then, it's been a little more touch and go with what we can do to get the crop ready to harvest.
And one of the problems with that freeze is that it was pretty unexpected, right?
Yeah, so a lot of times when we see a freeze in the forecast, we can make some applications that are maybe earlier than we would normally make them, but it can help us get some of that crop progressed and leaves off and balls open before the freeze happens. The big issue with that is up until even that day, a large portion of our acres didn't have a freeze in the forecast. And so that was a kind of a surprise freeze, and it caught a lot of people off guard. So we weren't able to do some things that we would normally want to do with a freeze in the forecast.
What are some of the things that really cold weather, how does that actually impact the crop, like with the boll and everything?
Yeah, so I mean the two big things you see is effects on the boll and effects on the leaf. So with the bolls that get frost damaged, they'll turn kind of a browner color, like a pale brown, and it's more of an even color. Those bolls either won't open if they aren't very far along, or you will see some fiber quality issues. So either some brown stain to the lint. And then with the leaves, we noticed a lot of upper third, upper half of the plants, the leaves that were left were frozen. So they had frost damage, which basically means that our harvest day chemicals really won't work that well on those leaves. So it's really hard to remove them. So you kind of hope that if they're completely dried down and desiccated, you get some wind to knock them off. But besides like a physical, actual thing to knock the leaves off, you can't get any, good leaf drop from what we'd normally like to see with our harvest date products.
So going forward for that late planted cotton, for a lot of those cotton producers, the outlook for the weather, it's going to start getting even a little bit more colder. So is there still time for some of those harvest dates that producers can put out? Or is it a little too late? What should they do going forward?
I think most of our crop at this point has probably either seen an application or just won't see one at all, and they're going to wait for the next freeze. So another one of the problems that we're having with the weather is like today, where we see overcast skies, higher than we'd like to see humidity. So today we're like in the mid 70s for humidity. Ideally for cotton harvest, we'd like to see the humidity a little bit lower, particularly if you're using a stripper harvester. So we just have problems with moisture in the lint. Overcast skies mean that lint's not going to really dry out in time. And so we kind of lose days even when, we could get into the field, it's not raining, but the conditions with the clouds, the overcast skies, and the humidity are also not real conducive to being a good, efficient, clean harvest.
All right, thanks, Seth. Seth Byrd, Extension Cotton Specialist here at Oklahoma State University.